Hello and welcome to another episode of Webflow Weekly. It is your host, Julian, and we are here to cover everything that's happened in the past week in the Webflow space. So, when it comes to new features, unfortunately there have been no new features. Ever since the Webflow outage that happened 2 weeks ago, Webflow has not been making any new features. I'm assuming they're just focusing on stability. And that is a-okay with me. That being said, I hope we get back to the new features soon. If you weren't around for the Webflow outage and you want to know what happened, click the link in the description to watch that video as well. That being said, the Webflow community has not been at rest this week. We have a whole bunch of new stuff ranging from animations to templates. So we're going to get into those right now in this week's episode of Webflow Weekly. Alrighty, so first things first, we have this swiper product gallery with e-commerce variants by Ronan. So one thing that sucks in Webflow is sliders. They just suck. If you have been using Webflow and you have used a slider, you know that Webflow sliders suck and nobody likes them. That being said, there is something called Swiper, which is a JavaScript library, and it allows you to make much better sliders. So I heavily recommend it, and here we have a good use case for it. So when I opened this project, I actually thought this was the slider, but I mean, it doesn't work, so it's not. Let's go ahead and open this one right here, Flask Sipper Sport. And right there, as we can see, there is a nice swiper with some buttons that you can use, copy and paste. And then if I change this to beige, it's actually going to change the swiper to a new one. I don't know how they do that. I'm going to go check that out in a second, but very, very nice here by Ronan. So let's go ahead and open it in Webflow and see what we're working with. Now, Swiper is usually something that is done with custom code, and I assume that's going to be the case. But do you remember how Webflow bought GSAP? Come back to this video at some point in time when Webflow buys Swiper. I really hope they do, to be honest with you, because a native actual experience with Swiper would be friggin' awesome. So, all right, let's go and check out the products over here and see what we are working with inside of Webflow. All right, so here we are, and as we can see, there is a script right here. Oh, that's actually just a loading Lottie. Okay, so that's just a little loader. We got that, we got this. And then product header 8 content middle. Okay, so I believe this is using Relume. Awesome. There's been a lot of clonables using Relume lately, and again, I don't know if Relume has an issue with that. That being said, I talk about it. There's going to be a video about Relume for me going live very soon. In my opinion, Relume is the only right way to get started on a Webflow site nowadays. It is so fast. It's just amazing. So anyway, seems like this is also using Relume. Let me try to figure out where this code is. I guess it's in the page settings. Okay, so we have featured swiper wrapper. And then down here we have the actual code for the swiper. So if you want to use this, make sure you check out the code because there is not that much, but there's 94 lines of it. And my recommendation to you with anything like this is just copy it from project to project and then make sure it works. And then one by one, change the class. So product main wrapper, let's say, for example, where is product main wrapper? I don't know, but let's just say it's right here. If you want to change the name of that class, first get this working, and then after that, go ahead and change the product class over here, then go into the code, then change the code over here to be using the new class, then publish it and test it. Because if you go ahead and change everything and then jump into the code, you are probably going to be very, very confused. You're not going to know what to do. And at that point, it's going to be worse than if you just built it yourself from scratch. So anyways, Ronan, awesome little clonable right here for Swiper. I love it. Next thing that we have is from Francesco Castronovo over here. And this is, as always, with everything that Francesco makes, awesome, very well documented, very beautiful. And this is about the new GSAP animations text stagger. So I'm just going to refresh this so you can take another look at it. Absolutely beautiful. Now, I'm going to give Webflow the credit for that, not Francesco, because, you know, the new interactions are awesome. But then right here, we have a 40-minute video of Francesco explaining everything. And as we can see here from this, let's go ahead and open Francesco's channel. Francesco, 1,500 subscribers. He deserves 100 times more than that. Really Really amazing, amazing detailed videos on everything. So if you're ever trying to figure out how to do something and you come across one of Francesco's videos, watch it because it's going to teach you everything that you need to know. So really awesome. Let's go ahead and just open it in Webflow. That being said, it's going to be a text stagger animation. Most of the video is just him explaining it. So we have interactions somewhere. There we go. Page load heading split. So right here we have heading split. And then stagger, is that something else? Okay, no, this is a very simple animation, as you can see. Split by letter, from and to, stagger, total time 1 second. That's it. Super simple, beautiful animation. These are used very often nowadays. So go ahead, check out this clonable. Link in the description as always. Thank you, Francesco. The next thing we have by right hemisphere right here made me kind of dizzy. It's a 3D roll interaction on the button using Webflow's GSAP interaction. So, what is this? This is like making me twitch. I don't know if I love it or if I hate it, but at the end of the day, it's really cool that this was done using Webflow interactions. At least that's what it says. So, as you can see, it rolls around. How did they do this? I have literally no idea. Let's go ahead and try to find out. Let's pop it open in Webflow. Okay, we got a div block 10 here, and I'm not a big fan of that, but whatever. The ridiculous interaction makes it okay for me. So, how was this? Oh, perspective. This is just using perspective. And it's just looping. What? Okay, so it's just one face, two face. And it seems like said faces are the exact same, if I'm not wrong. How do I go ahead and close off these interactions? I don't want them open anymore. X, okay. Yeah, it's literally, they just made this and then did this crazy perspective thing. Wow, again, GSAP, Webflow. You guys, this is friggin' awesome. This button makes me dizzy, and I would not use this on my website personally, but I think it's a really cool example of what can be done. And again, very simply. I mean, take a look at that. It looks super real. I love it. What can I say? Right hemisphere, very, very, very cool. Now, I want to go ahead and pop open something that we found another one of these last week. So this is from the Blueprint by Robin Grandquist, and it is really cool button interactions. And it's linking to Robin's The Blueprint template, which he has available on Gumroad. So I'm going to open that, and as you can see here, and again, I said this last week, I'm going to say it again. Actually, I said this last week, and I'm going to say it again. Robin, what is this picture? It's really creepy. This is the only thing I don't like about The Blueprint. Everything else is awesome. The Blueprint is really sick. I would totally recommend paying for it if I were you. But anyways, Robin here is advertising his premium template using these free buttons. That is an extremely, extremely smart way to do it. Give a little bit of the free stuff. People are going to see it, go, wow, these are really cool buttons. I want more. And then they're going to go ahead and find your paid product. So Robin, amazing and very smart marketing. And please get rid of that scary face because it scares me. All right, so we're out with the animations, and now we're moving on to the templates. And the first thing that we have over here is a portfolio template, which is honestly so simple and so beautiful. So we have a little about me over here. We have like a little JSON simulation for, you know, name, role, projects, experience, years. And then we have a nice little thing over here. And this just opens the other site. So here's why I like this. Now we have services, stack. Down here, we have some GSAP text animations, and then it does this really cool thing, and you can contact. So this is a really cool, really simple portfolio that I think anyone in any industry can just kind of use, slap it up, and get running with. So let's go ahead and open it in Webflow, see how it's built. So we got DD Hero, DD Container, DD Hero profile. Okay, so this is... It looks kind of like incomplete client first. It might be something else. No, probably not client first. But clearly, this person was very intentional. Sorry, who made this again? Andriy Sivtsov. All right, Andriy, like I said, beautiful template. And these class names are very intentional. I always talk about this. This is a very simple project. Like if this works for you, you can go ahead and just rename these classes to client first. It's really not going to be that hard. And regardless, these are well-named classes. So I don't really think there's a need, especially because this is just a personal portfolio. This isn't something that you're going to be using to build some like giant site with these design systems and all that jazz. So anyways, beautiful, beautiful template by Andre over here. I love this. Go ahead and clone it at the link in the description. The next thing that we have over here is a nice template for a barbershop by Jaron St. Onge. And I was very happy to see this because Jaron St. Onge is actually my good friend and we went to school together. And he's getting back into Webflow. So if you need a Webflow developer, go ahead and find Jaron. But anyways, besides the point, I'm just shamelessly plugging my friend's Webflow development services. Jaron over here is getting into Relume, and I want to take a second to talk about Relume because, like I said a minute ago, as far as I see it, it's the only right way to start a Webflow site at this point in time. If you don't know what Relume is something where at this point, what you can do with it is go ahead and enter your idea. So you could say, I want to make a website for Enzo de Naples Barbershop, and it will generate you a sitemap. And then after that, it'll generate you wireframes. And then after that, it'll fill in those wireframes with some designs, all in perfect client first, giving you everything that you need to start your site. You can pick the sections, you can do whatever you want. It is just phenomenal. As far as I see it, it allows you to just focus on the stuff that really makes that site unique. And all of these sections that are, let's say, more or less simple, like let's say this hero section, it is straight out of the box with Relume. And so one of the reasons why I think this is so cool is also because it allows us as Webflow developers to build cheaper sites for clients. Now you might be thinking, oh, I want to build a more expensive site. Well, not every business has or wants to pay, $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 for a website. But I think pretty much any business would happily pay $500, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, in that range. And so Relume gives you the ability to make a cheaper site for your client while still profiting and while still giving the client everything they need. That's one thing I think a lot of freelancers get wrong is they're trying to think, how can I get my client to pay me more? What you should think about, how can I get my client to pay me less? And it sounds counterintuitive, but at the end of the day, if your client sees you as a real partner to their business who's trying to save them money, they are going to want to work with you more, to pay you more, to give you more referrals, instead of if they see you as this predatory money grabber who's just trying to take and take and take and take. So if you, for example, have a client, you say, hey, I can make you a site with Relume for $500, $1,000. Even if they were ready to pay $5,000 for a website, they're going to look at you and they're going to respect you a lot more as a person, because even though you could have made $5,000 from them, you chose to make $1,000 and to help them out, and they're going to pay you back that money. Anyways, I'll stop yapping now. Let's go ahead and check out this template over here. So very nice, very clean. This is the exact kind of site that a barber shop needs. So if you have a barber shop for a client, go ahead, clone this, because it is just, like I said, exactly what you need. You got a team of barbers over here. This is a Webflow slider, not a swiper, I believe. I don't think Relume does swipers. We got accordions. Very nice. You can also integrate some sort of payments on here, some sort of booking system with Flow Booking, which we featured a few weeks back, to make a complete site for a barbershop. So let's go ahead and pop this open in Webflow now. All right. So like I said, this is built with Relume, and thus this is perfect client first, which is excellent. It is also perfectly responsive. I don't have a whole lot to say about this because, again, it's built with Relume. Everything in it is perfect. I can't really go ahead and analyze the class names because it's Relume. Relume has perfect class names right out of the box. Along with that, we have more pages. That I did not know, so let's go ahead and investigate that right now. So we have portfolio, we have project right there to, let's say, do some, this is for some crazy barbers, do some case studies. Never seen case studies on a barber site. This is how Jimothy got the date with that girl when he asked after getting a haircut. That would be a crazy site for a barbershop. So if you have any barber clients, please recommend them that. That would be hilarious, and it would probably work. So here we have the About Us page again, which looks awesome. Very nice fonts in here too. We have a portfolio page. Very nice. And we have a services page. So this is, oh, well, that's not a service that I've ever got from a barber before, but nonetheless. Okay, Jaron, that was beautiful. So, very nice site over here, made with Relume, perfect for barbers. And again, go ahead and clone this, and along with that, use Relume. I cannot stress this enough. If you are a Webflow developer today, please use Relume. Anyways, I'm going to stop doing free promotion for Relume right now, and I'm instead going to move on to the next Cloneable here by Yetmir Koichichi, who we've actually featured a lot on Webflow Weekly, and every time, really, really good. So let's go ahead and open this site up and see what we're working with. This is for welding. We got a nice little animated section over here. Never seen a welder with a nice website before. So guys, if you know any any welders, go ahead and make them this site and just give it to them so that you can say, I've made the greatest welding website on earth, because I don't think a nicer welding site exists than this. So let's go ahead and open it in Webflow and see what we are working with. So this is page wrapper, menu wrap. Is this client first? Okay, we have a style guide. What is this using? Is this just Yetmir's own style guide, perhaps? Whatever it is, it's very well organized, and the classes are amazing. I have nothing to say about that. I was just wondering if it uses client first. Very nice site here. Let's go ahead and check it out on mobile. Boom, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. If anything, it's even better on mobile. So Yetmir, absolutely beautiful site. Thank you for your contributions this time, last time, and as always. And finally, the last one that we have here is by Design Kuthir, who we've also featured before. They have some pretty cool templates. Let's go ahead and open this one up. This one is for a creative digital agency. That's cool. We got a little text outline effect going on over here. Now these arrows look a bit blurry, so to Design Kuthir, I would recommend using SVGs. But that's neither here nor there. Very nice site that we have here with some nice little interactions. Nice little scroll interactions, sticky, some services. This is really nice for, let's say, a social media marketing agency. Nice little tabs over here. This is just a super, super nice little site. And along with that, it is a complete template. We have a blog, we have a whole bunch of things. So I'm going to pop this open in Webflow, take a look at the classes, take a look at the pages, and there we go. So here again, we have a Webflow marketplace style class naming system. So we got capitals, we got spaces, and there are a lot of people who prefer that. I don't, but again, choose your own adventure there. I will say that in probably every single episode of Webflow Weekly that I do. So very nice, very organized over here. I'm assuming it's beautiful as well on mobile. It appears to be. Everything looks excellent. We've got a home page, we've got an about page, we've got a services page, we've got a projects page, we've got a blog page, pricing, contact, and finally template info and those CMS templates. So this is a complete template which is being given for free by Design Kuthir. That is awesome. That is why I love the Webflow community. So there you have it. One more week in the Webflow space. Unfortunately, no new features this week. That being said, as you can see, there's a whole bunch of cool stuff from the Webflow community to make up for it. With that being said, I will see you in the next episode of Webflow Weekly. Have a great day and have a flowful week. I gotta invent something like that because that just sounded stupid, but I'll see you in the next one, and bye-bye.